good afternoon, or good evening, depending on which part of the world you have joined this demo session. I am Neeraj Garg, and I am the global CEO at Aplusify, where I lead a team of 300 Salesforce enthusiasts who support clients globally for all their Salesforce and AMS implementation and support needs. I have with me our esteemed panelist, Nicole Adair. Nicole is a principal solution engineer at Salesforce, where she helps nonprofit leaders align technology to drive their strategy and power their missions. Before joining Salesforce, Nicole was a nonprofit leader for both the American Red Cross and United Way. She has led teams responsible for fundraising, marketing, and operations. She's an early adopter and champion for technology. She holds 4 Salesforce certifications: administrator, non-profit cloud consultant, business analyst, and platform app builder. She's a sustainability leader with Earthforce and serves on the board of the Institute for Leaders in Development at the University of Denver and Clayton Early Learning, one of Denver's oldest nonprofit organizations and leader in early childhood education. So welcome, Nicole, to the webinar session, and thank you for holding this webinar.
Yeah, thanks, Neeraj, and hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're going to dive in here and share with you how you can use the Salesforce platform for associations and membership organizations. And we're incredibly thrilled to partner with Aplusify to bring this technology to all of you.
So, Nicole, just before we start, in this digital world, right, where we are leaving our digital footprint several times in a day, it becomes important for organizations to collect this data, then organize it in a fashion so that they can understand their customers better. And as we know, right, this data is spread across various silo systems within the association's landscape. It's very important to find a solution that ties up all these silos and give business with maybe some business intelligent insights.
Right.
Now, in this demo, we just want how Salesforce can actually provide that integrated solutions that can help associations connect these dots and engage their members better for an enriched member experience.
Perfect. Yes. So as we jump into our first slide here, this is kind of how we think about it, Neeraj, at Salesforce. And as you know, working with us, and these are the kinds of priorities that we hear from membership and association organizations that we work with on the left-hand side. So wanting to provide a seamless experience, connect disparate systems, just as you mentioned. Break down data silos, as you mentioned as well, and just creating efficiencies, all with the goal, right, of retaining and acquiring more members and having a great member experiences. And so you can see on the right-hand side, we have opportunities with Salesforce tools to provide a secure platform, integration, that 360-degree view of your member, no matter where their data is in your system. And then we'll show also today a little bit of automation and intelligence and just connected. We're always trying to create that connected, personalized member experience. So this is kind of how we think about it when we're building and implementing technology for association organizations.
Okay, and I think one thing, since you were talking about automation and intelligence, I think there is a lot of buzzword around data cloud and artificial intelligence and how they both complement each other. So I think it would be good if you can talk about those two things and how they tie to each other and what benefits
Yeah.
business can actually get from it.
Yeah, and I'll answer that first, and I'm just go to this slide because it's a little bit of a helpful visual there. But here's Data Cloud. You can see here on the left-hand side of this image. And then we have all of our CRM apps in the middle. And so these are all of the different clouds that you hear about that Salesforce provides. And then we have what we call the Einstein trust layer. And for those of you who don't know, our artificial intelligence is called Einstein. And so, when we talk about using Data Cloud and artificial intelligence along with all of these other tools, one of the first things we talk about is what does your data look like? Is it, you have to have good, nobody's data is going to be perfect. It's data, and we're humans, and that's just how it is. But if you can get it to be in a pretty good place, then your AI is going to be much more effective. And I'm going to show you an example of what that looks like in just a minute. But if we talk about, you'll see here, we have the Einstein One platform. This is sort of our rebrand of the Salesforce platform. To be, we're thinking about AI running through everything. And at the top of the screen, you can see, you can extend your Salesforce platform with some of our other apps like Slack and Tableau. Marketing Cloud, we're going to see, some of that. And then, we have this app exchange and wonderful partners like you see at the bottom here. Aplusify has a couple of solutions like an LMS and an event platform that works seamlessly with Salesforce. And we have a bunch of other apps in our app exchange that you can extend your Salesforce instance with. So hopefully that answers your question and also gives folks a little bit of a sense of what the Salesforce platform is overall.
Yeah, I think so. This diagram explains it all. And I think one thing maybe we can discuss more about, maybe if you have time, is about this Einstein trust layer, right? Because a lot of people don't understand why we need that Einstein trust layer. Everyone understands that obviously data cloud is something there where you can actually put in data from various sources into your different Salesforce clouds. But this Einstein trust layer, because what does it exactly function like, and why is it so important in the whole chemistry AI?
Yep. I'm going to show a demo of our Einstein Copilot, and I will address that question when we're there, because that might be easier to explain on that screen. That's great. That's a good one. So let me jump into showing you a couple of things on the Salesforce platform. We don't have a ton of time, so I just wanted to show you a couple. And then we'll talk a little bit more about how you can continue to extend this platform for your needs. So here we are this is our nonprofit cloud. This could also look like, this may look similar to a sales cloud environment. They're kind of built on the same core. And so you can see we have a pretty rich record here of, a member who might be a member of your organization with lots of information about our latest activities with her, etc. If you're doing fundraising, we can track gifts. We can track her relationships within your organization. We have this sort of visual way to see her family members, where does she work? What sort of opportunities do we have open with her? And so you can see here, you get a really rich view instantly of all of the things you might need to know about this member. And you can add all kinds of things to this page. It's completely configurable. And that's the type of work that Neeraj and Aplusify do, is work with you to say, okay, what do you want to see on here? And are there certain groups within your organization that want to see something different? And they can set it up with all the security and permissions that you need. And so here's just one example of how you might track membership. We have just a membership object here, and you can see we are tracking memberships over time. But I want to share with you one feature we have here, which is called an action plan. So let's say I am working with Alex and I want to upgrade her membership. I'm going to name this Upgrade Alex Garcia. And I'm going to start this today. And I have an action plan template in here called Membership Upgrade Plan. And when I select that, it's going to show me, okay, here are the steps that we've defined as being part of this upgrade plan that we typically want to follow. And I can, make these show which ones are required, which ones are not. I can add documents to this if I want to, but to keep it simple, I put 4 tasks in here. And what's going to happen when I save this is if I go back to Alex's record and refresh, let me refresh her activities. Here we go. So now you can see these new activities have been added for me to follow up with her on this membership campaign, this membership upgrade campaign. And so, this one is saying is due tomorrow. So here is what the task actually looks like. Once I go in here, I can, mark the status as completed and, add any comments I want to here and save it. And when I go back to her record, you will now see that that is a task that has been completed. So we're down here on the left, you can see it's been completed right there. So this just shows you a little bit of the easy way that you can interact with members within the Salesforce platform, automate some of the, you can create templates so that you're automating some of that tasks, those tasks being assigned. And that is just scratching the surface of what you can do here. But I do want to jump into, let me pause for questions actually. Let's see if I see any. Do you have to be a Salesforce user client to use this? Yes, you do. Yes. And then what is the ideal association size for this system? That really depends, Kayla. And Neeraj, maybe you can talk about the sizes of organizations that you all work with. I'm pretty sure it's a kind of across the board. And that's one of the powers of the Salesforce platform, is that you can use it for all types of organizations.
Correct. And I think there is no ideal size that we can say is appropriate for this system. I think it requires more on how much data you have within your system that is there. Because as far as I understand, Salesforce has a minimum criteria of around 400 records that are actually required to run Einstein AI upon it. And I think if 400 records are not much, any small association or a bigger association will have minimum of these records. So I don't think so there is any ideal association size. I think what you should understand more is you should be very clear on what objective do you actually want to achieve through AI. I think if that is clear, rest of the things are taken care of by Salesforce.
Yeah, and I would say, Kayla, we work with, nonprofit organizations of all sizes. So, from 2 people to 2,000. So that's part of how we design this platform, is to be really scalable for your organization. So let me show you, I'm going to dive in now to show just one example of how we're using artificial intelligence here. And you'll see this is an account record. So let's say, I've just received this account as a potential partner for my association. And maybe I'm trying to gather, create corporate partnerships to support our events or something like that. So I've just been sent this lead, if you will, of an account. And so this on the right-hand side here, you can see is our Einstein Copilot. So this is embedded right in the flow of work. This is in my CRM. I don't have to go to a separate tool. And I can just ask it questions in plain English. Actually, I'm going to say, can you tell me about this account? And so what Einstein is doing here now is going out to public resources. So this is much like the generative AI you're using. And this is where the Einstein trust layer comes into play, where it's going out to a large language model and it's asking for this information. And then it's bringing it back into the CRM where I can use it and actually add it to this account. And so what's important here, because this is grounded in your CRM data and working within your CRM, it's going to strip any sensitive or personally identifiable information before it sends it out to the large language model. It's going to ask the question in the large language model, give it back to my CRM, and then it's going to ask that language model to delete what I just asked. So we have agreements with a lot of these large language models that we're working with within Copilot so that they cannot use your data after they give you your response back. Then it brings it back into Salesforce. It scans it for toxic language and things like that, and then puts that personally identifiable or other sensitive information back in, and then I get my response. So you can see my response here. And then you have the ability to add these actions to take within Einstein Copilot. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to the description field in this record. And you can see that it has just added all of that information I got from Einstein right here on the record. Now you can see here it's saying in recent news, it looks like this company is expanding. So that's interesting to know. I'm going to reach out to somebody. Let's say, who are the key contacts on this account? So I don't have to dive in. I could click through tabs and search for this, but Einstein's going to bring these right to the top for me. And I can see, here are the top contacts for this expansion initiative. Great. I would love to reach out to one of these and just start a conversation. This is how we get our partners. So I'm going to generate an email to Lauren Bailey, and it's going to draft the email for me. And it's saying, congrats on the expansion. I would love to talk about collaborating. I'm going to add this to our email composer. And, maybe I can add here is a link to my calendar or whatever I want to add here. And then I can go ahead and send this to Lauren. So that's how, you can see this right in the flow of work. And so we're thinking about how we put AI right here. And within, 1 minute, I could learn about this account, find out who the key contact is, and reach out. So you can think about the kind of time that is saving. And, we hear a lot of people talking about how, they're scared AI might be taking their jobs. And we're really showing or trying to show how this is just a tool to make you faster and get some of the things that you might need to do. Instead of searching on the internet, you can just ask Einstein, and it can help you augment some of those things that you're doing. So just a little bit of a taste of what you can do within the Salesforce platform. Let me look for questions, and then I have a few more slides to talk about how you can continue to extend this as well.
Yeah, I've been answering those questions for you, Nicole.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So I think what they have been asking is more about, is there a certification module? So what I've answered is, we have got a learning management system called Maple LMS, which is actually integrated into our solution. So you can actually use that as a certification module if you have got integrated LMS along with it.
And that all of that information comes right into Salesforce, right?
Correct. That information comes into Salesforce. So,
perfect.
And one of the questions I think from Jonathan is, do you have to be a Salesforce user to use our solution? And I have not answered it, but I think our answer should be because all the platforms are actually built on the Salesforce architecture and platform. So Salesforce is our base for all the solutions that we have built upon. So obviously, Salesforce is something that you will actually require for our solution to work.
Yep. All right. Let me jump back to our deck over here. Whoops, wrong way. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about additional things you can do to extend this. So we've seen how you can manage a member record. We've seen some of the AI and managing kind of accounts, sort of your more traditional account management pieces. But we also have other tools that you can extend the Salesforce platform with. One of them is Marketing Cloud, and this is one of the I would say most sought after products that we work with associations with to be able to really enhance that member experience. And so, this is a marketing platform where you can create not donor journeys. We can create donor journeys if you want to, but journeys for your membership. Maybe you want to create a renewal journey for members who are scheduled to renew at your annual their annual renewal time, or maybe you've been able to identify folks who might lapse, who may lapse, and you want to put them on a sort of activation journey. So we have that ability here. You can see we ask our customers every year to sort of quantify the value that they're getting from our tools. And you'll see in our latest survey, we had a 27% decrease in acquisition costs. So if you think about your acquisition costs for members and decreasing that with this tool, you can start to see sort of the return on investment that you get there. And then you can also see here down at the bottom, we're talking about you can personalize moments with real-time data powered by Data Cloud. And so Data Cloud does work with Marketing Cloud to activate on the data that's coming in. And for those who aren't super familiar with Data Cloud, it's really a data harmonization tool that can pull data from multiple sources, let's say. So let's say I'm in your event system as Nicole Adair, and then I'm in your AMS as N Adair, or a different first name. It will bring all of the data sources together and give you one harmonized record for me. It's not going to dedupe all of those contacts because maybe I want to use all of those, but you can get a full picture of Nicole, who's in your event system, and Adair, who's in your AMS, and realize those are the same person, and then use Marketing Cloud to sort of activate on that data to really provide personalized engagement and a great member experience. Any questions? Yeah, let me pause there.
One of the questions I think which we always face, and I think a lot of users here might also have that. Is it necessary to have Data Cloud to implement AI, or are they two separate things that need to be taken care of? Because a lot of users just confuse with that if we want to have AI, we need to have Data Cloud. Without Data Cloud, AI is not possible, and vice versa. So if you can clarify on that.
Yeah, you can use either one without the other. They are better together, just like peanut butter and jelly, or think of your favorite food combo. Because if you have Data Cloud, your AI is going to perform better just because you have that centralized data that you can use for folks. But you can use them separately. Absolutely. So you don't have to have both.
Yeah. Okay. I think that was my understanding, but if it comes from an expert like you, right, it's always better and puts that trust within the audience.
Yeah, perfect. And one thing I'll note on this slide before I go is just the mobile capability of the Salesforce platform. We build everything mobile first. And so you can take, Salesforce, the Marketing Cloud, all of these things on the road with you. And your members can also access things that you provide to them on their mobile phone. So, and the next slide is a great example of that. So some of you may have heard of Experience Cloud. And what this is really, we see a lot of folks in this space use this for member portals. And so, this is a place where constituents, members can come in and, they can engage with your content. They can renew their membership. They can, connect with other members in a forum. This is basically taking your CRM and, exposing it out to pieces that you want to, out to your member base so that they can engage with you directly within a community that is branded by you, controlled by you, but gives them, some self-service capability. And all of the great features that you get on the Salesforce platform are also available here. So you can use automation. We have folks who are using bots to answer, maybe member services questions to say, how do I renew my membership? And the bot is pointing them to a knowledge article, for example, or things like that. And so the great thing about this, besides it being, a beautiful sort of experience that you can create for folks, is anything that they do within this external community syncs back into your Salesforce org. And so if they update their address here, that immediately is, in real time syncs back to your CRM. And so we have a lot of folks who use this as a, as I said, a member portal, or, there's e-commerce potential that you can use in here if you connect to, an e-commerce provider within within Experience Cloud. And so we see great potential for this as well.
And Nicole, I think everyone must have that question in mind, right? In terms of associations, right? Because as someone said, like they vary from a size of 2 till thousands of members, right?
Yeah.
And every association might have a different use case. So can you talk about maybe some use cases where for AI, maybe where actually associations can use it for better processing, maybe implementing their processes faster, or maybe increase in member engagement? Maybe it's just few use cases which they can actually think about.
Yeah. So one thing that we see a lot of folks doing, and I didn't show this necessarily, but we have within Einstein, you have two sort of sides of AI, right? You have generative, which is the example we saw where we can generate content or get content from a large language model. And that's probably the AI that most people are familiar with in their like normal, even non-work life. And then we have predictive artificial intelligence. And we see a lot of traction here for membership organizations who are trying to, for example, predict a member that is going to lapse. And so within Salesforce, you can use Einstein Prediction Builder, and it's a drag and drop interface where you can just say, here is what a active member looks like. Here's what a lapsed member looks like. And then Einstein will do an analysis to decide, okay, this is what lapsed members look like. These members over here look like those lapsed members. They have characteristics of a lapsed member, meaning they haven't engaged with your community in 30 days or, whatever the case may be. And it will identify those parameters that say, these are the kind of factors that indicate a member is going to lapse. And that gives you the ability to then act on that before that happens, right? So you could put maybe an attrition risk score or a lapse score on your account record. And then your team can then use that in reports or in Marketing Cloud to take action and get ahead of that before they do lapse.
Yeah, I think most of the users are mostly, as you said, are more informed about generative AI and not about the predictive AI model, right? And I think both are related. It's more about first doing a prediction and then using the generative AI to do your action.
Could be, yeah. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
And that is just scratching the surface, and we're all learning this together. So, if you all have other use cases that you're thinking about, or you're like, I wish I could do this, we'd love to hear about that.
And I think one of the questions from Kyla is, how do you handle donations recurring and one time?
Yeah. So we within, and I might be able to just show you. So within this record here, we have different types of records. So we have opportunities, which are going to be more for like a major gift or something that's cultivated over time. So this is kind of a more robust record. And then we also have gift commitments and gift transactions. So gift commitments are things like, and I can make this a little bit bigger. I don't know if that's hard to see. But you can see these are kind of like pledges. So this would be we have recurring donations here. This is for anything where you're expecting that gift to come in the future, but you have a record of it now. And then we have gift transactions below, which is either the payments on a major gift or the payments on a recurring donation, or just a one-time gift that comes in through your website or you get a check in the mail. Those are gift transactions. So we have all kinds of fundraising and tracking capabilities within Nonprofit Cloud.
Okay. And I think since we are nearing the session end, right? So maybe your last piece of advice to all the audience who are here, and in terms of how they should be using the association management system along with Salesforce much better, or how can they use AI much better?
Yeah, I would think like I always advise people to think about kind of a crawl, walk, run approach, right? So if you're going to start using AI, what's something simple that you can do right now? Maybe it is, using generative AI to rewrite an email for you that you want to make it sound more something. You want to shorten it. I use it all the time to shorten things that I'm writing, right? That's to be like my editor. And then you can think about, okay, what's a more advanced use case we can get to? And then what is like an ideal thing that could be amazing in the future? So kind of that crawl, walk, run is how I like to frame it, Neeraj.
Yeah, I think that is a great explanation. Crawl, walk, and run. So
Good.
I think we are
We
almost
are
close
at
to the
time. That
session. We are
flew
at time.
by.
Yeah, we are at time now. And thank you so much, Nicole, for
Yeah.
attending this session and
Thanks, everybody.
elaborating. Yeah, thank you so much, and thank you everyone for attending this session.